Hi, ladies. So, a lot of women on social media are beginning to figure out that their husband's health could actually influence their pregnancy journey. And because of this, so many opinions are being dropped, men taking sides, women taking sides, and a lot of truth mixed with lies. Just different stories. Social media being social media as usual. But today, I'm going to be separating the myth from the facts. You need to stay tuned for this one. First of all, I just want to establish the fact that pregnancy is one of the most complex yet rewarding journey a woman could ever undertake in her entire life. There is nothing on earth compared to a woman getting pregnant and going through that whole 9 months of pregnancy and getting to the labor room and delivering that baby. It's a very complex, but it's a very rewarding experience. One thing I want to establish as a matter of fact is that pregnancy is not just a woman's journey. You see a lot of people on social media saying that you women, you need to prepare your bodies, you need to do this, you need to do that. Ladies, it's not our journey alone. The truth is that two people contributed to that pregnancy, right? The man and the woman. And the baby contains half his genes, and he also or the baby contains half your genes as well. And just as the baby contains half your genes, that man is also responsible for how that baby is produced. That man is responsible for the entire process that baby is being manufactured. It's crazy that a lot of men think that only women are meant to prepare for pregnancy, telling them what to do, when it's absolutely a man and a woman's job. Pregnancy occurs as a result of, remember biology, egg from the woman, sperm from the man comes together, fertilization occurs, baby is born. For that baby to be birth healthy, you as a man must contribute healthy sperms. And from a lot of people already know, if you Google it, you would know that a fully mature sperm takes 90 days to completely develop and to form. If as a man, during that 90 days or even before that 90 days, you're not taking your health, you're not being healthy, you're not exercising, you're not eating right, you're not balancing your diet, you're not taking water, you're not resting, I don't think you should blame the woman if that baby comes out and is having one issue or the other. Because just as the woman is responsible, you are also responsible. There are research to prove that the father's health is actually responsible for the baby's weight gain. He's also responsible for some inherited conditions that baby will have, like eye color, hair color, so many things like that. He's also responsible for some inherited disease conditions. So as a man, just as that woman is taking care of herself, you also need to take care of yourself as well. Now, ladies, in as much as I said that man is responsible for how that baby is born, responsible for the whole developmental process in that baby, which he's responsible for half rather of that developmental process in the baby, I just want you to know that everything happening in your body may not in fact be as a result of that man's health. And I know it's so easy. I want to blame men for everything. They have caused a lot of havoc in the world, but one of the things they are not responsible for is how you look during pregnancy. Your hormones, your choices, your lifestyle, your genes, your health before pregnancy are responsible for your stretch marks, for your swollen feet, for your weight gain, for your swollen nose, and every other thing that happens in your body during pregnancy. The man is not responsible for that. Your body is responsible for that. Now, in as much as I just established that fact, it's also important for men to know that they are not off the hook here. In as much as the woman's body is responsible for how she looks during pregnancy, you're responsible for how that journey goes. As a man, read my lips, you are responsible for the pregnancy journey. If you give her a solid support system, you expect that pregnancy journey will go well. As a woman, she is meant to rest. She's meant to, she should not be working hard. She should not be stressing on house chores. She should not be, thinking of how she's going to get to the market or the grocery store to get food for you. These are things you should take away from her as a result of that pregnancy. You are the sole determinant of how that pregnancy journey goes. Do you understand? You are meant to decide. In fact, you alone decide how that pregnancy goes for her. If you decide to be a solid support system for her, pregnancy will be the most beautiful experience she's ever had. Now, if you decide to neglect her during that period, you don't provide emotional support, you don't provide mental support, you don't encourage her to rest, you don't take over the chores, you don't allow her to, to just calm down and relax, don't expect her pregnancy journey to go well. Now, I see on social media that so many people are comparing so many women's pregnancy journeys with Temi Otedola and some other people's journey. I just want you to know, as a matter of fact, that Temi Otedola and every other woman are not the same. First of all, Temi Otedola is the 0.001%. Do you understand what that means? It means that the people that Temi Otedola has access to, the doctors, the nurses, the nutritionists, the dietitians she has access to, you will never have access to them. You got that right. Your wife will literally never have access to them. It all boils down to how much money you have at the end of the day. If you can, if you have the money, you take your wife to the best people, you get the best treatment, you get massages, therapy, everything that makes her journey smooth. But if you cannot provide this thing for her, don't compare her to somebody whose life is luxury, whose every food is luxury. Do you understand? You saying that, this woman, comparing the pregnant woman who looks a different way to another pregnant woman who looks a different way, it all boils down to support system. I can firmly say, as a matter of fact, that Temi has a very solid support system. From what you see her husband is always present, her mom, her siblings, her dad, they are always present around her, and they're always contributing to how her pregnancy journey is going to look. If you don't create a solid support system for your wife, don't compare her to someone who already has a solid support system. Also, if your wife is managing a job, 2 or 3 jobs, going to the market, taking care of the other children, and you're comparing her with someone like Temi Otedola who has, who has money, who has nannies that can take care of her kids, it's not the same. It's not realistic. You're asking your wife to bring half of the money for food, half of the money for rent and stuff like that. And you're comparing her with someone who's, I think I watched her video where she said that the first money she made, or the brokest she's ever been, was $1,000. Some of you have never seen $1,000. Men, I'm talking to you. So it's not realistic to compare her journey with your average wife, or to compare her journey with the average woman. It's not the same. Now, in as much as I said that, I also want women to take care of yourself. Exercise is not prohibited during pregnancy. It's allowed. You should exercise, maybe not to the extent you would have done if you weren't pregnant, but walking about, taking walks, light exercises are necessary. Also, eating very balanced diet, resting, they're also necessities during pregnancy for you to be optimal, for your health to be good, and for your baby's health to be good. Having said that, I just want to tell you guys that pregnancy is a very complex journey. And as a woman, take your time. Don't jump into it with any random guy. Don't jump into it with any person just because that person looks good or has money. Just ensure that before you get to the point of getting pregnant, you have a very solid support system. You're ready financially, you're ready emotionally, you're ready mentally, because pregnancy will test every part of you. I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.